Hey guys, Desert Alchemist here. I'm doing a video on a mushroom that grows in the desert. This is Battarrea phalloides. It's the sandy stilt puffball. And they call it a puffball because of this, because it's got tissue similar to a puffball. These mushrooms are covered in tissue that makes spores on the inside. And they're very, very hard mushrooms. They have the consistency of a branch, so they're very woody and not edible, or at least unknown edibility. But here at my friend's house, we have some really fresh specimens. I've never seen it this fresh, where you can actually see soft white tissue. If it was edible at any stage, it would be at this stage. Usually this tissue hardens pretty quickly and becomes as hard as a branch. And these mushrooms have, obviously have these yellow spores that are released when they get kicked around. And it's not really known whether it's edible or poisonous or medicinal. Nobody's really studied this mushroom. I would be curious to find out what kind of properties this might have. But as you can see, it's hollow on the inside. And typically this mushroom will burst out of the ground and it will hatch out of a little sac. You can see some of the remnants of the sac here, which were covering the mushroom. And sometimes it'll grow and it'll retain its little tissue that covers all the spores, and it actually looks like a normal mushroom. But once that little piece of tissue rips off, you can see the inside, and it matures pretty quickly, and the spores become more accessible for whatever life form wants to help it spread. But it's a very interesting mushroom, one of the very few mushrooms that grow here in the desert in Arizona, and I just wanted to share that with you guys. So here's another shot of the same mushroom. You can see some of the tissue from the sac that it hatched from underground. The mushroom hatched out of there. And it's got some of the tissue covering the head still, but this is the white tissue that I was talking about. Once this gets ripped off, all the spores are exposed. And I've never seen this part of the mushroom in its most fresh form. It always seems to be in this form where it is dry and breaks up into powder easily, but that's the Battarrea phalloides. But I wanted to show you guys as reference how big these are. They're almost as big as my forearm. They're huge mushrooms.